Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second ever Harmony Happy Hour. I always have to pause for a second when I say that. So many H's. It will not be an hour long, probably, unless you have a lot of questions. We'll get to Q&A later. I just want to say none of this is financial advice. I'm not really planning on giving any, but you got to do that disclaimer at the beginning. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to look at, I already have pulled up here, is a new launch pad for Harmony called HarmonyPad, as you can see on the screen. It looks pretty cool to me. In terms of design, I mean, it's kind of a nice sort of parallax material UI design. Got the motion at the top. All right, so it looks good. What does it do? A launchpad is basically a platform that allows you to buy into new upstart tokens. They're called an IDO for this particular one, which is an initial DEX, decentralized exchange offer. I never know how specific to go on the definitions, because a lot of, most people watching this probably already love Harmony. But if you're just getting into it, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to explain if something wasn't clear. Okay, so basically you can use their coin to support a new project. Then the amount of money that you put into that new project when it launches, if it launches successfully, you will get that percent of the minted launch token. So you're basically a super early investor, almost like a venture capitalist, but decentralized and smaller, so we can all participate. It's a cool concept. They already have them on. This one actually is going to be on Binance Smart Chain as well. It says 8 here, 80% on Binance Smart Chain, 20% on One, which actually makes it more interesting to me because of that low starting price versus the low launch supply. So if it is popular, the price will go pretty high. I expect it to even out a bit because we're eventually going to approach that 1 billion supply as more generated with more staking and IDOs that come out. But I'm very interested in this project in terms of looks and financials. It launched on October 8th, by the way. I don't know a time, they haven't said, but feel free to check in their Telegram, or I might make another post. Follow on Twitter. That's the best way if you don't want to miss it, at Comics on Crypto. And then I looked at their white paper. Again, good, crisp design. Seems like they really have an idea of what the company wants to do. They're not just one guy in their room kind of throwing, or maybe they are, in which case, well done. It looks better than that. And a lot of those projects still go on to do very well, even if it is that. It's pretty straightforward. I don't see anything crazy. They have the guaranteed info, vesting. This is where they're going to put the money that they raise. Pretty good split, marketing, liquidity, ecosystem. I'll just read it aloud in case this is too small to see. Ecosystem, staking rewards, IDO playpad, IDO astronaut, and they're going to do an airdrop, apparently. I actually haven't been in a project that's done an airdrop in a while, but it seems like a decent incentive to hold your tokens at least until that airdrop date, as you want to get bonus rewards. And then they posted an article on Harmony, on Medium, about HarmonyPad. And they start off with why Harmony won, because it's the best blockchain. All right, I'm a moon cow, moon boy. Harmonauts.org is my website and validator. I clearly love HarmonyOne. I'm doing this web series just dedicated to HarmonyOne. We already know why we love it. It's fast, it's cheap, it's supported by a large fund for developers, which we'll talk about in a little bit. By the way, if anyone has questions or comments, feel free to interrupt the show. No, okay. I'm just loading up the next page here. I'm still kind of getting used to live streaming, clicking back and forth between the streaming app and these web pages, but we'll get there. Stick with it. So yeah, HarmonyPad, they're saying the first thing they offer is 50% of the platform fees will be distributed to the IDO. So I have actually seen other launchpads that distribute to the coin that they're helping grow, but not 50%. That is quite a lot. And they're going to do a deflationary or it's not reflexive, just deflationary sales tax of 2.5% and 7.5 to be given out to LP stakers, which is kind of like taking some of the good parts from, one of the early coins, like a Safe Moon, or current one like Saitama, like a meme, kind of building in that meme coin architecture into an IDO, which is, very cool. I like those percentages. 2.5 and 7.5% is quite high. So that will reward people, again, for holding coins. It seems like they've really thought about protecting the price from a dump. Now, nobody can really predict how it's going to work, how their marketing goes, but I do like that they've at least put the thought into the long term here. And this kind of project, the longer it lasts, that means the more other cool projects have come out. So I'm a fan of this at first. Obviously, I can't vouch for it or anything because it's not live, but we'll revisit it after October 8th when it goes up. All right, closing that and moving on. We can talk about we talked last week about governance. There was a vote for the initial community DAO governors. Congratulations to all those that won. I am personally running for Developer DAO, as I am a developer, and I'd appreciate your vote. But honestly, you don't feel the need to vote for me. Go on there and just vote. I think it's important that we get the best candidates. There are 12 people running, and you get 9 votes, so only 3 are going to be out. But honestly, everybody who's running is well worthy of the position. All established developers or learning. And it's important to have people that are just now learning. Like I just learned Web3 in order to do blockchain development over the last 2 months, whereas I've been a coder for 17 years. So, I think pretty much anyone, as long as they're willing to work hard and work together and love Harmony. I guess you don't even have to love Harmony, right? Maybe there's things you hate about it and you want to change, so you're coming in to be the dark horse. Ooh, I'm going to mix things. I don't know. Are you a rebel? It's too late to run, but look at some of the other DAOs. I believe Creative is coming up. So yeah, just go vote. That's important. And you do that by going to governance.harmony.one or gov.harmony.one. And you can click on Initial Developer DAO and vote there. You'll have to log in with your MetaMask or One Wallet. While we're still on the subject of Harmony from a company standpoint, let's talk about the one to earn for builders and creatives. So Give, one of the core team members, has been promoting this a lot, and I think it's awesome. There are all these open, they're not jobs. It's actually almost better than a job because you submit the hours you want to work each week, and then they can give you tasks depending on which of these categories here that you fall into. So if you're a core member, they're saying you're going to get 35 hours a week. That one's basically a full-time job, although I do believe you will be independent contractor if they even do that. I'm not sure how they're going to process that, but that will pay a minimum of $55 per hour, and it estimates that's $100,000 annually. Not too shabby for, not having to go into the office, not having to be an official company member, all the other perks you get with it, and you get to work on a really cool project. Then, the things that are more interesting to me, because I spend a lot of time creating content for YouTube. By the way, hit subscribe. Snuck that plug in there real slick. Yeah, hit subscribe. It would really help us. And we're going to give away a Nano Ledger S at 500 subscriptions and a Nano Ledger X at 1,000 subscriptions. So all you have to do to enter is click subscribe and click all notifications to make sure you don't miss that you're announced as a winner. We'll give you like 3 weeks, 4 weeks to claim it. So 3 weeks. I stole the week from you there. No, but if you're not watching every 3 weeks, why are you subscribed anyway? So all I have to do, click subscribe. And you will be automatically entered to win that. So the thing that interested me more is these hunters and contributors, where you can work in short bursts, the hunters, 3 to 12 weeks, and with an hourly rate of $110. I don't discuss money usually directly, but that's more than I make per hour at my old day job before I started my own company. So that's awesome. And then for the contributors, minimum pay $75 an hour, and that's the one where you get to set your own hours. It's actually a maximum 20 hours per week. You don't really hear that with a gig generally, that they're limiting the amount you can work as opposed to wanting you to work more. So I think that's really cool. I highly recommend you check that out if you're a developer. Even if you don't know Web3 yet, go to cryptozombies.com. Okay, cryptozombies.io. And you can see here, and this is how I learned. And then, it's kind of just the basics. Even though it says advanced, it doesn't really get too advanced. And then you can keep going from there. The first thing you learn is how to make an NFT, which is really hot right now. So yeah, I would check that out if you want to learn how to do Solidity coding, Web3. All right, let's talk about something more fun than voting. And that's HarmonyWhales.com. This is one of the latest NFT art projects that are generated by computer. The art is, of course, drawn and then randomly assigned attributes. So you can see you could get a little monocle there. You could get a nice little hairdo. And this one does say it's going to be part of a game. So I guess the rarer you get, the more powerful it would be in a game, or maybe just look cooler. And yeah, I love this art. Website is minimalist, which I like. I already signed up. I don't have enough money, enough one in this wallet to buy another. I don't know if you could see that pop up on the screen. But yeah, check that out if you like that art. It's a no-brainer because you're also going to get the value from resale, and you're going to get the value for when it's used in a game. But also it's like 401. It's nothing crazy if you just think it looks cool. Maybe you want an avatar or whatever. I'm a big fan of just supporting art. All right, moving on. I'm going to talk about Rubic.exchange. Now, admittedly, this is the one I know least about, and it is the most complicated. They posted a Medium here also. Again, about Harmony. It's the best. Enough said. And they are funded by Harmony team itself. I think they got about $50,000, so that should be enough to get a good project going here. And you can find it at Rubic.exchange or Rubic.finance. And it's a multi-chain DEX aggregator, which is, it looks for the best yields on the best APRs, I guess you could say, on different yield farms and DEXs between, it says they're going to do Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Harmony, Tron, and XDAI, that's a lot, very ambitious project. So if it works out, it should be quite profitable for early investors and for them, of course, as is the point of starting a project. And yeah, it looks good. It's got a sleek, it almost reminds me of like a Solana turned green vibe. And then I like how you can switch. I'm actually not connected to this one yet, so let's connect. MetaMask. See if that works out. Sign that. All right, we're logged in. So now you can select the token that you would like to switch. And the idea, I believe, is that you could switch it between chains, which, who do we know that wants to be the bridge between chains? Harmony. So it's perfect to build on Harmony. I think there is going to be a lot of competition for this, but as far as I know, they're the first one that has an actively working cross-chain bridge, and they have a regular bridge as well in case you like this interface better or don't want to have to go between multiple sites bridges. And of course, they offer a swap because that's the main functionality. I think it looks cool. Again, they do have a lot of competition, but it also looks like they have a strong team, and they do have the Harmony funding behind them. So check out Rubic.exchange. Let me know in the comments if you want more detail on that one. I probably personally won't get into this one. Maybe if they have initial offering or something, I invest a little bit of one there, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. And I'm not. Oh, and they have a fiat on ramp, which I think is cool, that searches multiple chains and multiple on ramps for you to buy with credit cards. So if you click, you want to buy that much ETH, it'll then pull up these other sites that you can use them with and the best value that you'll get. So it has a lot of really cool features. I'll definitely be using it. I just don't know if I will have to make use of the cross-chain bridge. But hey, the time may come, and I'll be happy it's there. All right. Great. I believe we covered that pretty well. Now I want to talk about EasyNode.one. This is run by Patrick Slugum. You can find him on all the Harmony Telegram and Discord groups. He runs a validator. He's a great guy, super talented, a system administrator, and he made a validator toolbox, which so supposedly it's really easy to get started as a Harmony validator. I've been doing it for about 6 months now, and it was not that easy. It's not as easy as people might make it sound. It definitely, I had to rely on some of my skills already working on a command prompt in a shell, buying a server, setting up a local server, having redundancy, etc., managing the keys. So I helped a friend who is not a programmer do it, and it took us most of a day. So it's not like a plug and play. But there is, thanks to the validator toolbox, written by EasyNode.one, you can now just install through a command prompt, and you're still going to have to know how to get to this phase, although he does provide initial setups in addition to the ones over at staking.harmony.one. So you'll be able to figure it out now and then run this, and pretty much, you know, at the base level, you're good. If you want to run a validator, that just go install the EasyNode HarmonyOne installer and Node software. And I was talking to Slugum before on Telegram, and he was saying that the GitHub is open. So if you're a developer out there, especially if you're good at Python or Python for Raspberry Pi, because he would really like to make Raspberry Pi easier to set up a node, that would really make anybody able to do it. You know, you buy this $50 box and just ensure you have, or $150 box, whatever Raspberry Pi is going for now, and make sure that it's connected to the internet at all times, and you're pretty much good to go between that and the node validator. So check out his GitHub. You should be able to find a link from this page, or search for EasyNode on github.com if you're a developer, and contribute. Let's get as many people validating Harmony as possible. I think there's like 200 something right now, and you know, the goal is to get to 1,000 for true decentralization. Okay, what's next? The last thing we have here is DefiKingdoms. If you're on Harmony, you probably already heard about this because it has been hot this week. Pretty much everybody I know has been talking about DefiKingdoms. Let's change that tag there. So I will admit I was wrong on this project. When I first checked it out, I had just been through a slew of new yield farm dexes, Mochi Swap, Piggy Farm.bank, Loot Swap. I think I avoided Lock Swap. I think they rug pulled. Sorry if that's wrong. You know, and like Loot Swap had the notorious pulling out of funds, but it wasn't a rug pull, but to use to build up the site, and a lot of people lost value there. So like I was just very wary of buying in. And at the time also, the site did not look this beautiful when it first launched. And even if it had, though, I still might have passed, because if you click inside, and by the way, I'm not telling you to pass on this at all. It's doing very well. I'm telling you why I did about a month ago when I first saw it. It's because if you click inside, basically it's just using that 8-bit classic video game feel, but then it's just like any other DEX or yield farm that I've seen. You know, you go to the gardens, which I think is their farm. You could claim there. You talk to the druid, and I mean they have a TVL of 60 million. So I think that's the most on. I'm not sure what Sushi is, but that is a lot. Granted, a lot of that is because they have these high APRs. When a new yield farm starts, they tend to spike up and then kind of even out or dump. This one looks like a really good project, so you might not see that dump, but it is still risky to enter any yield farm, and if you stake it versus their coin, if it loses value, you'll lose the value of the other coin as well. So keep that in mind if you're buying in. But the art is awesome, and they recently released NFTs. I think they sold out like instantly, and it cost 2,000 jewel. And right now a jewel is $2, and they sold 2,000 of them. So I think that's like $8 million, which is quite insane, and I'm in a good way, and I'm loving what this is going to turn into, because if this actually was gamified, I mean, yeah, I could see buying into this and just spending all day on it. If there's some type of burn for each thing you do, or a way to earn more through a skill game or a random luck game. You can basically build a casino into this. You can build a story into this. You can build burning. So the base of this is incredible. Whether or not it will be able to maintain, I don't know. It did already have a successful launch. When I found it, it was at like 23 cents a jewel. That's what they call their token. And now it's over $2. So if you bought in early, congratulations. You got a nice 10x there. And, you know, maybe it's not too late to buy in. Again, I don't want to tell you what to do with your money, and it is risky to enter a yield farm. But this is a very cool project, and they raised a ton of money. So if they put that into the proper developers and they're good game designers, I think we're going to be hearing a lot from DefiKingdoms. Also, they got the .com, which doesn't necessarily matter for crypto people, but that might make it attractive to more people just looking for like a standard, like an Axie Infinity type game, just a standard, I want to earn some money while I play type game. And then they kind of lure you into the DEX, the yield farm, the games, the Harmony ecosystem, and it could be headed for big things for sure. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please hit subscribe if you could. It would really help us out. And we do a weekly show every Wednesday with my buddy Reggie Jr., very funny comedian. And that's all. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.